uh, yeah. So at here we can able to view the workflow history. So let me refresh the screen. Yeah. So at here you can see we are receiving one error message. So what this particular error message stating, let we will understand more. So in workflow we have two persons which is assigned. One is admin, another person is stain. Okay. So at here it's giving the exception error. The work item couldn't be created. Insufficient security permission to the user stain. Okay. Please review the security permission and ensure the sufficient for the workflow document and resume the workflow. Okay. So this is the error message which is giving. So let me copy, and for more detail I will paste it over here in the notepad so that you can easily understand. Okay. So there is a user called stain. Okay, and let me go to the another tab. Now I am going to the system administration. Okay, in system administration, users. Okay, so at here we have one user called stain. Let me filter with stain. Okay, so this is the user. For this particular user, he doesn't have sufficient right to approve the workflow. Okay, so what I will do, I will provide him some additional role so that he can approve it. So this is security role. So currently I'm mapping.
Hello, Gautam sir, you are not audible.
I'm not audible. Hello, Gautam, Prashant. Let me rejoin. 1 minute. I'm audible now.
Yeah, it's so.
Okay, I have shared my screen. Hope you are able to view it.
Yes.
Okay. So let me re-explain what I did. So in workflow history, when we cross-check, so we have seen that there is a error, and it is not assigned to the respective person for approval to approval. Okay. So at here the error message what it's given over here is some stopped error x plus plus. Okay. I have copied this particular error message and I have pasted in this particular notepad. Okay, so at here what it's stating, the x plus plus exception, the work item couldn't be created, insufficient security permission for the user stain. Please review the user security permission to ensure the sufficient for this workflow document and then resume the workflow. So at here the person called stain. So what I did, I have navigated to the in another tab. I have navigated to the system administration, users. Okay, so at here I have filtered the particular user ID stain and I have opened the particular stain. Okay, so currently he is an accountant and he is an employee. Okay, but he don't have approval rights. So that was the reason the workflow has been stopped assigning that particular user to make the approval. Okay, so currently I'm adding some superior roles so that he can approve that particular document. Okay, then we will resume our workflow. So to assign the security role, we will click on assign role. Okay, so once you click on assign role, system will display all the roles which is available you can assign to him. So based on that it will be acted that particular role basis. Like for example, if it is a finance manager, you will select the account supervisor or account manager like that. Okay, so at here I am giving some random roles. Okay, so at here I have given some finance related rules. Now let me go back to the workflow in another tab. Let me click on resume. Okay, so at here I have clicked on resume. Let me refresh this particular workflow history. Now you can see the workflow has been resumed. Okay, now you can see the workflow has been resumed and it has been assigned to the two persons. Okay, one is system admin, another one is stain. Okay, system admin is nothing but me only. So Julia Federic is me only. So how I'm saying Julia Federic is mine, you can see you can go to the users, and if you go a step back and let me filter with admin, you can see the person name. So the person name is appearing over here. Okay, so now what I will do, let me go a step back and I can approve the workflow. Okay, one minute, where it went. Just give me a minute. Okay. Julia doesn't have access, so because of because of her email ID, that workflow has been removing, and this journal is getting disappear. So I have removed her ID, okay, from person name. Now you can see, so this is the journal, and if I go back to the workflow, and you can see I can approve it. And if you see the workflow view history, and you can see it has been assigned to the two persons, one is admin, another one is stain. So in workflow approval matrix we have seen the four level of approval policies. One is single approval, majority of approval, percentage of approval, and another one is all approval. Okay, so at here let me approve this particular journal from my side, and I have approved it. Now if I go back to the view history, okay, if it is a single approval, it will move to the next, any step is available for approval, it will be assigned to that particular step per approval person. If we have assigned the majority of approval, then it will see in majority, like for example we are at 5 person who is in approving this particular approval, then in 5, if it is reached the majority level, like 51%, if it is reached, then it will trigger for the next step of approval. So let's see what we have mapped yesterday. So let me refresh this particular page, and now you can see workflow, it has been approved, and the journal batch number, the workflow has been completed, and you can see the workflow has been completed. It means we have assigned a single step of approval. Okay, let me go a step back. Now I can post this particular uh, journal name which we have created. So before posting, let me go back to the lines. Now you can see we have, now you can see we have 001. So when I opening this particular journal lines, okay, you have two different views. One is review, another one is edit. So in review, what will happen, you can able to view it, but you cannot edit anything. Okay, if you want to make addition, you need to click on edit, and you need to modify the respective thing. Again you need to resubmit for the workflow for approval. Okay, so currently I am not selecting anything, so at here directly I am clicking on post button. So once I click on post button, so what voucher series we have mapped to this particular journal number, it will be mapped over here. Okay, now you can see currently it is mapped as 000001. So once I click on post, now you can see the voucher number sequence which we have mapped on this particular journal, which is populating over here. Okay, so this is the journal batch number, I mean the journal batch, how we journal name, how we will create, how we will map the number sequence and the workflow. So this is clear, right? So let me show you another workflow. For that, let me go back to the journal names. Okay, so we have journal. Okay, so at here you can see this is the approval. So we have seen approval workflow, now we will see the approval. So let me make active, and at here let me select the approval person. Let me select the originator itself. Okay, so I have selected one user group originator, and I have saved the record. So this is the journal. Now let me go back to the another tab. Let me press back, and let me create new journal. Okay, lines. So let me update the let me create one transaction record, so that prepaid insurance. Okay, now in this particular transaction, if you see, when I'm selecting any expenses, no business unit is auto populating. In our last transaction, you are able to view the uh, the business unit is auto populating because of, in general batch, in general name, we have given the default dimension sets. So based on that, the dimensions is auto populating over there. Okay, now we have created this particular transaction, right? Now you can see, let me save this particular record. Let me go a step back. Now you can see, for this particular thing, there is no workflow, but we have enabled the approval, right? So how we can submit to the workflow and how we can get the approval? So for this, you can see we have on top approval. So you will click on this particular drop down, and you will submit as reported as ready. Okay, so once you click on reported as ready, it will trigger to the respective the user group what we have mapped. So at here we have mapped this particular user group originator, right? So this particular user group, it will be trigger for approval once you click on reported to as ready. Now you can see, in this particular user group, I am one of the person, right? So if I click on this particular approval again, I have two options, either approve or reject. So this is will be act as single approval itself. Okay, so at here, either I can approve or reject. Let's imagine I am approving this particular journal. Okay, so it's stating as user is not related to workflow. 1 minute. I'm creating some employee record for the admin. Just give me a minute. Okay, let me reapprove it. Okay, so let me tell you what I have done to correct this particular error. The reason why it's giving that particular error message is there are two things. One is we have removed the person name in the user for admin. Okay, that is one. Second thing is in that particular user group there are so many users also there. So I have created new user group and I have added it. So I will re-show you how to add new user group and how to add the persons, okay, for your reference also. So let me post this particular journal and let me show you how to add the user group. Okay, so I am posting this particular journal. Okay, journal is posted. For this particular journal, the journal voucher number is auto generating from the beginning itself. So initially it is not generating the temporary number sequence. The reason behind this is for this particular journal we have not enabled the number allocation at the time of posting. Okay, so that is the thing. Okay, now at here in this particular new another tab, so let me go to the system administration. Okay, in system administration we have user group. Okay, in this particular user group you can define a number of user groups and based on that you can map to the workflow. So it will be easier for removing and adding the user. So if you use the user if you don't use the user group in the workflows, then it will be a you will be creating a number of instances. When I say instances, means the versions. So there will be huge versions will be created for every time for adding and removing the user group. I mean the users from the workflow approval list. So better you create the user groups for the individual approval steps and map it in the user group. Like for example, at here I have created admin, right? So let me go back to the journal names. Okay, so we have created G journal, right? Let me open this particular workflow, edit workflow. Okay, let it open. It will take 1 or 2 minutes. Yeah, so in this particular workflow, if you able to see, we under step one, we have created, sorry, we have added the individual users. Okay, and under user you can able to see admin and strain. Okay, so instead of adding manual like this users, go with the participant role base and select the user group participant, and in this particular drop down select that particular user group. Okay, and mark at single approval and close it. So if you go with the user group, so in case if any user has been resigned and he left out, okay, so in that case you need to remove the particular user group. So you can easily remove in user group, not instead of opening the workspace, I mean the workflow framework. So it will be easier. So this is an add-on advantage. You can map with the user group. Now let me save and close this particular workflow. So when I click on save and close workflow version note, so you can provide what modification you have done. So you can make a version note over here and you will click on OK. So once you click on OK, it will give another dialog box whether you want to go with the previous version or you want to activate the new version. So this is the another dialog box which will ask you want to still make active the older version or you want to activate the new version. So you will select the new version as we have modified, and this modification should be applicable for all the workflow. Okay, now the workflow changes has been done and it will be saved and it will be activated. Okay, now this has been activated. Now if I go back, and if you create any new transaction, it will be applicable like that same itself. Okay, so now let me show you one more thing over here. So we have created the workflow and workflow how the workflow will work, we have seen it. So let me show you another thing also, that is nothing but the periodic journals. So how the periodic journals will work, so let me explain you that also. For that we will go to the journal ledger. Okay, under journal ledger we have journal entries, we have periodic journal. Okay, in periodic journal you will click on new and you will select the journal name as periodic journal. Okay, this one also journal name also will be created on the journal name. Okay, let me go to the view details. So periodic journal, the journal type will be periodic basis. So why we the periodic basis in the sense we will do monthly ones or weekly ones, those will come under periodic journal. Like for example your EMIs will be deducted on monthly basis, monthly one on one specific date, right? So those all are your periodic journals. For periodic journals, the journal type will be periodic. So you may get such questions like what is the journal type you will select for the periodic journal. So you should be aware that for periodic journal we will select as periodic. For journal you will select as daily. So let me go a step back. Yeah. So at here I have created a new journal. So this is one which I have created. So let me go to the lines. Okay. So at here you will give the start date. Like for example, I'm giving little bit older date so that I can demonstrate very well to you. So at here, let me select at here date is 2024. Let me select first month, October 2024, 5th. So October 5th 2024 I have selected the date. Okay, so at here I have a ledger, so let me give the main account. Like for example my prepaid EMI or prepaid expenses, prepaid other expenses, okay, will be debited. Like for example at here I am mentioning EMI payments. Okay, so at here I am giving the amount as 15,000 and I am selecting my offset account. Okay, so at here I have selected my offset account. So far up to here it's nothing but your journal lines, how it will be displayed, same like that only. Next to that we have, so from here from unit is there, right? From unit it will start, like you can see for day basis, monthly basis, yearly basis or all. So at here mostly we will select monthly basis. Okay, like for example, if you want to consider each month has one period, so you will give at here as one. If you are making quarterly payments or quarterly expenses booking, so you will mention at here instead of one, instead of three. So it will consider every 3 months has one expense line. Okay, so at here I'm mentioning as one, so that I want to make it each individual month. Okay, and you will save the record. Okay, so once you have saved the record, let me go to the left. So this is my start date, that is 5th October. Okay, last date is not given as we have given monthly. Okay, up this one. So if you want to give the last month date, like for example if it is 12 months, so at here let me give the end date as October 2025, October 4th. Okay, so I have given October 4th 2025. So this is the last working day, last day I have given it. Okay, I have saved the record. Now let me go a step back, let me go another step back. So in general template, in general periodic template, what we have defined in lines, we have defined our accrual account and our actual expense account. So this is the amount, and we need to record this particular transaction on periodic basis on every month 5th October. Okay, that we have defined. And what was the last working day of this, but I mean the last run date for the last date for this particular expenses, which up to which we need to book it. So we have given the last exit date also. After saving this particular record, we will go to the journal. Okay, that is journal entries, journal. So at here again you will click on new record and you will select the journal lines. Okay, so we have created the periodic template. Now we need to retrieve on monthly basis, right? So at here we have created on 10th October, right? Now what I will do, I will go to the periodic journal, retrieve journal. Okay, so at here I will give the to date. Like for example, my to date is, let's imagine, up to December 2024, and from date also I am giving the same. Okay, and at here I will select that respective journal, that is 643 I think. Okay, and at here you will mention as copy and you will click on OK. So once you clicked on OK, so at here it will be created the journal lines for individual month. Like for example, I have I have mentioned the start date has 5th October. Now you can see we have 5th October, 11th October, 5th December also. Sorry, 11th November, 5th December also. Okay, for each month on 5th, the transaction record has been created. I can post it. So we will create individual month basis. So currently I have run the quarterly last 3 months. Okay, so once it is approved and you can post these particular expenses. Similar way you can run this particular transaction on monthly basis. Just you need to click on retrieve, the record will be created. Okay, like for example now we have run up to November, right? Now let's run for December. Again I will click on periodic task, retrieve journal. Okay, so at here I am giving the month and date as January month and date. Okay, and at here let me select the periodic journal, the last one, and I have clicked on OK. Now you can see one January also has been added to post the transaction. Okay, so this is the way to create the periodic journal template, and from there we can retrieve it in the journal entries line, journal lines. Okay, so from here you can submit to the workflow and you can get it approved, reported as finish. Let me approve it, and now you can post the transaction. Okay, now we have seen the periodic journal template and we have posted it. Okay, now let me show you how you can save the journals also. Save and you can retrieve the journals also. Like for example, let me create some big journal. Okay, so there is one journal. I'll take maximum 5 minutes. I know you are getting late for your office. Maximum I'll take 5 minutes, and we will wind up the session today. Okay. So at here, I have shared my screen. Hope you are able to view it. So at here, this is the journal line which is already created. It okay, and from the periodic journal, you can click on save journal. So this particular save journal, what it will do, it will create a periodic journal. Okay, like for example, at here I have selecting the creative periodic journal as yes, and let me give the save journal as okay. So at here you can see what I did from this periodic journal. I have clicked on save journal. Okay, so at here I am creating a journal name under periodic journal, and this is the name what I have given to this particular journal. And once I clicked on save, so system what it will do, it will save this particular journal line. Okay, let me click on OK. Now you can see the journal operation has been completed. It means the journal has been saved. You can able to view this particular journal line under the periodic journal. This is the journal which I have created, and you can also view the template, saved template. So this is a saved template which is already it is created. Now when I'm retrieving this particular journal, again journal, again I'm creating a new journal lines. Okay, so when I'm retrieving from the periodic journal, that saved journal, okay, so system what it will do, it will take the same date. So what we have saved, right? So what was the saved date is there, the same date will be automatically populated over here. Okay, After populating over here, the user will manually change the date and he will submit to the workflow. Now you can see the date what we have appeared over there, the same date it is populating. Okay, and even if you retrieve again this particular journal, the same date will be populated. That is the two different things in periodic journal. One is saved journal and then another one is accrual periodic journal. Okay, so this is the thing which you should be aware. uh, so in interview they may ask you a question like uh, how to save and retrieve the journal. Okay, so you can answer them like we have a save option and in journal lines under the periodic. So we will select the periodic journal and we will give the name and we will click on OK. And the same from the periodic journal we can retrieve the journal in journals. Okay, so this is one question which may interview ask. Another one is accrual on periodic basis. So accrual on periodic basis, you can say that I can utilize the uh, periodic journal. Also another one is deferral journal. So deferral journal concept we will see tomorrow, how it will be applicable on journal. Okay, so today's agenda is only the periodic journal and the workflow which is covered today. So tomorrow we will see the deferral journal how it will work, and we will see further how the accrual entries will be booked. Okay.
Gautam, one doubt.
Yeah.
In creating general voucher, here we have units, right? Daily, monthly, and yearly.
Yes.
If we want to pay that payment monthly twice, how to create that one?
See, these journals are booked on expenses basis. Okay.
Okay.
If you want to make the payment on a recurring payment, then you need to what you need to do, you need to transfer individually. But how you want to make payment? You want to make payment on check or you want to make payment on cash?
Either ways, if I want to payment through cash on monthly basis,
Uh-huh.
I mean monthly twice, I need to pay monthly twice.
Uh-huh. Then in that case
So
you will select this one, and at here you will select as days and you will give 15 days. Okay, in a month
in
we have 30 days, right? So you will give as 15
yes.
days in the days column. I mean next to the day after selecting days, let me open so that you can easily understand. So in periodic journal, let me open this one only. So at here after days you will mention over here 15 days. Okay, let's imagine I have given 15 days and the date is this and this is my expiry date. So let me give the expiry date up to 30th. Okay, now when I'm retrieving this particular journal in the journals, so every 15 days it will create one, either it may be expense account or payment line. Like for example, let me open this one. Okay, now at here I am running the, let me delete this one. Okay, now at here I am retrieving the journal. I am giving, that is July date, right? And let me select the other expenses and let me click on copy. Yeah, now you can see we have given the start date as 1st January, sorry, 1st July.
July, yes.
Okay, from 1st July after calculating 15 days is 16th July.
Yes.
After 16th July, again it's calculating 15 days. The next is 31 days. Okay. So
Yes,
you
Saudam.
can post this transaction at one shot for whole month. Okay.
Okay.
If you want
Okay.
to book every 15 days, then every 15 days you need to run this particular thing. Retrieve journal.
Okay.
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 There is another accrual option is also there. I will show you in tomorrow's session. There are other deferral and other accrual scheme is there that I will show you tomorrow.
Sure,
Okay.
Gautam. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you guys.